All right, Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. Jay Sabs is here with us, and we finally have a date that we're going to get this document dumped. Janine is skeptical. That's okay. Rudy Giuliani is making some news. Actually, he's making a lot of news.
Ooh.
But we'll talk about
I just read something about him too.
The Borat thing. We'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then where's Charlie Brown going to be this holiday season? It's in a different location, but he's still coming.
Not on our TV.
We'll tell you all about it. Episodes brought to you by our good pals over at Hero Soap Company. Link in the description. We'll talk about those guys in a second. So, Judge Preska says that the documents will be released. We are doing this podcast on Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. She says the documents will be released Thursday, October 22nd by 9 a.m.
Oops. Sure.
So we already talked about the fact that Ghislaine lost the appeals. We knew that. The judge just said that the documents will be released and made public no later than 9 a.m. on Thursday morning.
What do you think we should bet on this?
We could open up odds on this if you want to. I'm okay with that.
We could.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with opening up some odds on this. The controversial transcripts, long sought after by some of Epstein's victims and the media, are expected to shine an unprecedented light on Maxwell and Epstein's life together. They come from 2 days of depositions in 2016, which settled a libel case filed against Maxwell by Epstein accuser Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Maxwell's legal team has argued the deposition contains intimate information about her personal life and her personal matters. Federal prosecutors say they believe Maxwell may have perjured herself during the testimony. The transcript runs, as we said, more than 400 pages. District Judge Loretta Preska says that the Maxwell team will have the opportunity to make minimal redactions today to block personally identifiable information that would reveal the names of non-parties or their families, but directed that the material previously ordered unsealed shall be posted on the docket no later than 9 a.m. Thursday, October 22nd.
All right, let's see.
Let's see what happens here. Now, a couple of things. These are, people were complaining. I got a bunch of messages and comments and everything. People were complaining, like, why are you going to protect these people by redacting their name? It's my understanding that they're redacting the names of people that have nothing to do with this really, or have done nothing wrong.
Correct. I saw that too.
Yeah. It's not like they're going to redact the name of somebody that has been accused. They're just going to, if they were like, I was at a lunch with this one and that one and that. And person,
like Bill Clinton, I'm sure there's nothing going on with him.
Nothing to see here. Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, look,
goodbye.
It's not to go off your joke. It ain't solid. Like, it could be somebody that did do something wrong, but I'm sure that'll all come out in the wash eventually. You know, right now, if me, you, and Frank were sitting somewhere, and then Frank went off and killed somebody, and then we were in a deposition, we'd be like, yeah, we knew him, but we didn't kill the guy. You know. By the way,
it's true. Out of the three of us, he's the one most likely to kill someone. Let's be honest.
Frank is most likely to snap and murder and go on a murdering spree.
100%. But I see what you're saying. Just because you're seen with someone doesn't mean that you are involved in these things.
Right. Exactly. And who knows? They could also be protecting somebody that is a witness and giving them information as well.
Right.
Those people need to be protected also. So, you know, that is basically that. But she did say it's minimal redactions. So not a ton.
So it's not that many.
And it's not that many. And it's not a big part of this whole thing. It's not going to gunk up the works any much more than it is. So I believe that tomorrow or whenever you're watching or listening this, within 24 hours, we're going to have this information. So subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscription button, hit the bell so you get the notifications. If you watch us on Facebook, like our page, Anthony on Air, hover over the like button. Make sure you're seeing our posts first in your news feed, or else Facebook will bury us. And if you're on Apple Podcast or Stitcher or Spotify, then awesome. You should have no problem. We'll come right into your feed. And then we were able to post the first documents. We got them in PDF form and we put them on the website on anthonyonair.com. We'll do that again if we're able to get our hands on it pretty quickly. So,
All right.
yeah. So that's exciting. Also, somebody keeps giving me a hard time about me not releasing her
mugshot.
Yeah.
Well, I know you are an owner of it. I mean, just admit it already.
I don't have her mugshot, guy. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
No
like,
one has her mugshot. Why
Yeah.
would you,
yeah.
Anthony, on air, have this mugshot?
I just think it's so funny that this guy keeps harassing us. Not harassing,
He does.
but he's like, "Where's the mug?" But I will say this too. Like, what's so funny about that? They put out like a new mugshot of Bill Cosby yesterday for absolutely no. I don't like. Why do we need to up? Is this yearbook photos? Do we have to update mugshots for people that he's in jail? What do we need to see another photo for?
Right. Well, here's my question. How often do they take mugshots of these people?
I don't know.
Like, I thought you just take a mugshot when you're like in jail, and that's it.
Yeah, when you get arrested. I thought they arrest you, they take your picture, and then you're done.
I mean, I don't know why they released it. He looked like someone's sad grandfather
Yeah.
who raped a few girls. I mean, come on.
Some people said that he looked like he was grinning, though. I didn't get grinning, really.
He looked scary. Like,
Yeah.
sad scary.
Yeah. That's still so sad to me, that whole thing. I looked up to that guy so much.
You and a lot of other people.
Yeah. I knew somebody who knew him extraordinarily well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to tell me after who. And what? They just said, did they say he was guilty after it came out?
So here's my Bill Cosby story. I was obviously a huge, massive fan of his for years and years and years. Still to this day, that first comedy, that one comedy special where he's sitting on the chair and everything, that was like from 70 whatever, so funny. Massive fan of his. I'm doing radio here on the island, right? He books a show here. Tried to get him on, couldn't get him on. But he doesn't really do a ton of interviews. He's also a bit of a control freak too.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I don't know this from the person
that's surprising.
Yeah, I don't know this from the person that I know, but I know somebody who interviewed him once, and they were like, he had to know who was going to be in the room. Some people were like, why is he in the room? He can leave. Like, he had to have control.
Oh, really?
Wanted to hear it was a pre-taped thing. He wanted to hear it when it was done. It's like very like stuff that you would never agree to. Yeah, never agree to. But it's Bill Cosby, so it's like you
have to.
Some people weigh those options, right? So anyway, long story short, not that he needs to do the press. He books this event out here. He sells the place out completely. Declines my invitation onto the show, but very nicely says, "Please come to the show." So I'm not going to turn down an invitation to go see Bill Cosby. This is a billion years ago, before any of this stuff came out. So I get there, and the person that I know was very gracious and very nice. She's a sweetheart to this day. She goes, "Bill's getting ready to go on. Do you want to come meet him?" And I'm like, "Of course." I don't even think that Dee came. I think she was with me that night, but I don't think she came backstage. She's like, you have 2 minutes. So I was like, okay.
I'm sorry, I would have ran if I were her.
Get swept, go backstage. He's coming out of the bathroom, actually. He's like tucking in his shirt. He's like getting ready. And the person goes, "Bill, this is Anthony." And, he promoted the show and whatever. And he looks at me and he looks at her and he goes, "Well, did he sell it out?" And she goes, "Yes, the show's sold out." He goes, "All right, let's take a picture." So we took a picture and he said, "Nice job." Like, nothing to do, zero to do. It's like when your kid draws you something, you're like, "Oh, this is amazing." Like, he was literally treating me like a 3-year-old, and I didn't care because I was still like loving it. And that was it. And he, and like, I got to learn about him a little bit. Like, he flies into every place that he does. He would do like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours.
Wow.
He was as funny as ever. He sat down on a chair at the time. He was where we are, where the theater is that he played, is 10 minutes away from a private airport.
Oh, okay. I know where it is, I think.
before the people started getting out of the theater, before the last person was out, he was already up in the air and on his
Oh
way
my god.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like that.
He's like that. He literally walks off the stage, out the door into a car straight to the plane up in the air, and he is gone before they come out to sweep the theater floor. But
Wow.
and that's how that guy rolls, because that's what he could command for. The ticket was like $400 a piece. Like, it was insane. It was
Do
insane.
you still have this picture?
I do have the picture.
All
Yeah,
right, send it to me later. I want to see it.
I do have the picture. But what's weird is when all this stuff came out, this person and I never really spoke. Like, we talked, like, we were like hey, how are you, how's it going, that kind of thing, but we never ever
Spoke about what happened.
spoke about what happened. And I never had the balls to be like,
I was gonna say, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
How do they know him?
I can't. I will tell you. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay,
I can't.
off air. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you something
Just
that is.
curious how they would know him.
I'll tell you something too that's gonna make your mouth. Oh, it'll make your jaw drop.
Okay.
It'll make your jaw drop. But it's the reason why, like, I could never be like, did you see? Did you know this happened? Is it,
Again, it was probably known in like celeb circles.
Well,
I think so.
that was the thing when what's his name, who started talking about it, the comic there.
Oh,
Um, oh God, he's so funny too. I used to see him all the time at the cellar before he really got big. It'll come
oh,
to
I know
me.
who you mean.
Um,
Ugh.
when he first said it, he made it sound like it was, like you said, in the circles that everybody, Hannibal
Yeah,
Buress. When Hannibal Buress first said it, he made it sound like everybody knew.
yeah, like it was a known thing.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I can remember playing the clip of Hannibal saying it on the air on the radio, going like, "Wow, this is kind of crazy." Like, he said it so matter of factly, and like everybody knows, and like I had no, obviously people had no idea for the most part, and then to watch everything that happened as it just took off from there was unbelievable.
Crazy.
Yeah. But that photo went from like being like one of my prize moments in the business to like, oh, can't can't show this
I'm
to
not going to show
anybody.
this to anyone.
Yeah, I got to put this one in the shelf. So that was the Bill Cosby story. It's weird though. I always felt like it's funny. It never dawned on me, but one time it did. I was like, I wonder if this person knew anything or was involved. God forbid
All
something
right.
happened. Who
Hmm.
knows? I don't really know, but I don't know. Um, Rudy Giuliani.
Oh my God, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy.
Let's talk
Now,
about,
first off, I
first
love
off,
Rudy.
if there's a
Let's talk
guy
about soap.
who needs Hero Soap Company, it is Rudy Giuliani, because he looks like he's having a rough time, and also he's exposing some crazy dirt right now, which is, it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with. Hero Soap Company is our proud sponsor. They honestly make unbelievably great soaps. If you like phenomenal, top of the line products, this is a boutique soap company that was started by a veteran. If you buy a bar of soap, they send a bar of soap to an active member of the troops. They also use proceeds to build homes for veterans that are coming back from service, which is extraordinary. I love the peppermint and cool. I also love the spearmint. That happens to be my favorite. They do have some new products that we're going to talk about coming up. So for the ladies out there who don't like a bar, we got the shower gel option for you guys that's on the way. They have a lot of exciting stuff coming up, but they are a sponsor, so support them if you can. Buy a bar of soap or a couple, and you can find the link in our description or click on the banner at anthonyonair.com. You can also save 20% off on a subscription by using the promo code Anthony after you click the link in our in the description below, which is great because then you can have a soap sent to your house every month or 2 bars of soap every month, whatever you use. They'll automatically send it to you so you never have to think about anything
Yes.
ever again about ordering your soaps. Yeah. Um. So Giuliani is in the heart of this Hunter Biden thing, but now he's also involved in this Borat thing. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
Is that the thing that you heard about?
The thing I just read about.
Yeah. So, all right, let me
So the
go
Hunter
ahead.
Biden thing.
Well, okay. You want to start with the Hunter Biden thing? Let's fill
Yeah,
everybody in with the
because
Borat thing first.
Borat first.
Well, let's just say this. He's going to be in the Borat movie that's out on Friday.
And
Go ahead.
so from the article I just read, you know how like they trick people into thinking like they're on either different media shows.
Yeah.
Like Borat goes in, I don't know, for the viewers who haven't seen it, he plays this character from, what is it? Not the Middle East, is it?
Kazakhstan or something?
It's like more like Eastern Europe. And
I think it's a fictitious place, isn't it? Isn't it fictitious or is it real? I don't know.
You're asking the blonde.
All right, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Either way, he pretends he's this media type. He has talk shows. He invites politicians on that are well known. And he goes in and he like starts off kind of normal, but then he goes with like shocker things.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, we're not doing this interview anymore."
Yeah.
So Rudy is supposed to be in the movie. And he said he knew who Borat was. And supposedly in the movie, it's Borat's daughter, right?
Yeah, somebody
Who invites him into a hotel. I don't know what the premise of the story is. And she invites him back to her room for a drink. And then there's a scene with him laying on the bed with his hands in his pants.
Basically, yeah.
So, but he's like, "Oh, they asked me to play in the movie," which I don't really know because he doesn't do that, Borat.
No, and Giuliani said that, oh, Borat usually gets people, but he didn't get me. But
Exactly.
from this article that just came out, supposedly it doesn't really look great.
No.
So what I gathered from it was that they asked him to be on, like you said, like a political show, and the interview was in the hotel, which is not uncommon for these agencies. They get like a big suite, and they usually do it in like the living room area. They'll clear out furniture, whatever. And like you said, she asked him to come back into the bedroom, and supposedly he laid down on the bed, and she was playing like an underage girl, I think.
Right, because she's young, right?
She's super young, and he put his hand down his pants as he was like reclining back onto the bed. He was like tucking his shirt and like putting his hand down his pants or whatever.
First of all, I can't wait for this movie because I love Borat.
Let me tell you something. I am so excited. I'm with you on that.
It's a good movie.
Borat, the first one, is hysterical. Even he's been running these ads on like Instagram stories, and he's like, I have a movie coming out on Amazon Prime. Just to hear him say Prime instead of I laugh at everything this guy does. It's so funny.
Same here. Now I'm going to have to watch the original to prepare for.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, I was thinking about going back to the original.
But here's the thing. Did he pull out the Hunter Biden tapes because he knew this was going to come out?
I wonder.
Conspiracy theory number one.
Conspiracy theories are flying.
Go into the Hunter thing because I didn't really get into much of it.
All right. So we haven't really talked about this too much because we'll talk about political figures. Like we talked about Biden and Trump, but I don't care who people vote for. I have no interest in swaying your vote.
Me either.
I could care less who you're voting for. I could care less if you even vote. I'm not one of these people that's like, make sure you read. No, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do.
Plus, if in New York, it doesn't matter anyway.
A lot of places are predetermined. I mean, they're literally looking at, I'll be honest, I was thinking about doing an episode where we take a look at the map and everything because I know people will find that interesting. It's Florida, it's Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. These are the states that are going to determine. Everything else is they already know which way it's going.
Exactly.
You know, the crazy thing is they have Texas right now as a coin toss, but I just don't see Texas not going Republican. I just don't see it.
I know.
Anyway.
I know.
So we haven't really talked about too much of it because the other thing is it hasn't really been nailed down per se and confirmed. Like the Post put out one thing, and then Facebook and Twitter was like they were
I've
like
seen it on Facebook. Yeah.
yeah, they were like shadow banning it and like slowing it down, which has been done to us to a smaller degree with certain things. YouTube's done that for sure. So I get that. I don't think that that's right. I think that's a whole nother issue to talk about on another day. But I found it interesting that the story came out about Hunter Biden and the story became how Facebook and Twitter reacted to it, not what actually Hunter Biden did. That was what was
like
interesting.
they try to downplay it.
That was interesting to me about day one.
Trump.
Yeah. And then, so then you had this idea of like, okay, Giuliani has these things. Then there was this idea of Adam Schiff comes out and says, well, the Russians have been trying to get Giuliani with a bunch of disinformation. So there's that whole thing. Then the director of national security came out and said, this has nothing to do with misinformation. You know, this is his laptop. So it's like you just keeps flopping back and forth and there's been no real
story. So what is the story?
So the story is that Hunter Biden brought a laptop or 3 laptops into a computer repair shop in Delaware to have them fixed. The guy fixed one or tried to save one. One didn't get set, whatever it was, a combination of he fixed it. And he's in possession of these laptops now. He calls Hunter Biden to have them picked up. Hunter Biden never picks them up. 6 months go by. And in the contract that Hunter Biden signed to get these things fixed, it says, if you don't pick up your stuff in 6 months, we own it. That's basically what it is. So he tried to get in touch with Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden never tried to get back in touch with him, never went there to go pick up the laptops. This is according to Rudy Giuliani. And allegedly, we have to say. Now he's in possession of this. So he opens it up and he starts going through it all and he starts to see these crazy pictures and emails and text conversations and all this insane stuff about what Hunter Biden's done, and it's not great stuff. So he makes a copy of the hard drive, leaves it with 2 friends, takes another copy of the hard drive and sends it to the FBI.
Okay.
Calls and writes a bunch of Republicans to tell them what he has. Nobody responds to this guy except for Rudy Giuliani.
That's how Rudy got it.
That's how Rudy got it. So there's like so many holes in this story. Mm-hmm. And there's also so many things where you're like, oh, that sounds plausible. So I watched this 26-minute interview with Giuliani, and it was with, I forget what online outlet it was.
Was it 911 News?
I don't believe it was 911 News. I don't think it was Politico. I forget who it was, but the guy at the interview I thought did a nice job. And he asked Giuliani all these questions about it. The guy laughed when Giuliani said the guy made copies and gave it to his friends. I thought that was a little nutty too. You know what I mean? I thought that was a little crazy. But he said the guy feared for his life. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy. But now, right now, you're like, that's nutty. But wait a second. Yeah, maybe I kind of get that. You know, so there's all these crazy stories. And he says that there were conversations of meetings. Basically, what he's alleging is that Hunter Biden got paid all this money to go work for these guys. And it was basically just access to Joe Biden while he was vice president. And that there's this whole scheme, allegedly, that you would pay Hunter Biden or you'd pay whoever, and then they would kick some money back up to Joe Biden. And that's how it all worked, and they would get to do whatever or have a meeting or whomever.
You mean the Chinese government?
The Chinese, the people in Ukraine. There's a lot of things. Now there's also alleged rumors of some underage girl activity with Hunter Biden too. There's that out there too. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. None of this has really been vetted so far. And what really bothers me the most of all, so Giuliani's sitting there and he's going, we have all this stuff. We have it. So the guy's like, great, give it to us. He's like, no. We're going to put it out, over time, blah, 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 this and that. They go, we're going to put it out when you'll see it. Blah, blah. And then he starts to get into this lawyer speak. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the interview, he literally says, if and when we put it out. So we went from you're going to see it, we have all this stuff, to if and when we put it out. And it's like, guy, if you really have this, if this guy was with underage girls, if this guy was in messages talking to people saying, you know, I kick 10% up to the big guy and the big guy's joke. If you have it, put it out. Let the people see it.
Right.
If you don't have it,
don't say that.
And you're just kind of like putting out little tidbits so people can connect the dots and make it bad, then that's just political garbage.
It is. And then I would not be happy with Mr. Rudy.
No. And it's like, if I had that, I don't understand this theory or political strategy of let's catch him in the lies first. Like, let him lie about it. And then
he's not going to lie now.
This isn't something that you need to catch people in a lie about. If it was done, that's good enough. Let the people see it. I think they're making a bigger mistake if you want to win this election by holding on to this garbage.
I agree. Well, you know when they're going to release it. Right before election day. So
maybe that's the strategy. I mean, but here we sit, like, what are we, 2-3 weeks away? Like, now's the time.
Right.
Now's the time to put that out.
Now, I really didn't know this was going on, but my friend that I follow on Instagram, that's the huge Trump supporter.
Yes.
You know that guy.
Yeah.
He posted about it, not yesterday, but the day before.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't wait to see what Rudy's going to put out, blah, blah, blah. And then I couldn't wait to go to his Instagram profile yesterday fast enough to see what it was. And then I maybe it was the same interview, but there wasn't not much said.
He doesn't really say much. He says there's some they put out some photos, so clearly he got something. There was a question about the photos. Rudy gets upset and he goes, "You're just trying to down, trying to make it look like we're lying because the photo metadata didn't match up, which is hugely important." But then you, like I said, you have the director of national security came out and was like, it's not Russian misinformation. So I wish the Democrats would stop with that. I mean, it's true. Giuliani's been targeted. That part's true. I get that part, but find out what this is first, So I don't know. Like, my wife keeps asking me, she's like, what do you think? I'm like, let's see it. Like, if he's got it, let's see it. But then there's also this other part of me that feels like people are not going to care.
It's true.
Like, I think people are going to look at this and go, man, that guy's son's a real piece of garbage. But it's not Joe. I'm still going to vote for the guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because I agree. People are.
Here's the weird thing. Forget it. If he gave access to Joe Biden, that's not right. That's wrong.
No.
But let's not pretend that we don't live in a world where stupid cousins and idiot sons and dumb siblings, sisters and brothers aren't given jobs in every walk of life. Forget politics, just because it behooves somebody else's interests. Like, that happens all the time.
All the time. I agree.
And I think that the Trump campaign, and rightfully so, isn't using it. They're using it, but not too much, because he's still connected to the company, which he's been accused of funneling all sorts of money from outside sources through the hotels and all this other stuff.
Exactly.
So it's like, throw that rock if you want to, but be careful of the glass house that you live in.
That's right. That's why I feel like he's not going to say much about it.
But if I'm Donald Trump and Giuliani goes, I have this laptop, and
that's his advisor, right?
And here's Biden's son, like, talking about being with an underage girl or talking about kicking up 10% to dad, I would be like, give that to me. Put it out now. Just put it out. Offer it up to the entirety of the press. Give it to every geek squad that can verify that it's the right. Like, just get it out. Put it out. This is for 2.5 years. The guy literally got impeached over asking the Ukrainians to look into Joe Biden, and they finally got the nugget, and now you're not going to put it out? I think that's crazy.
Unless he's scared that something else is going to come out on him.
Unless he was waiting for this Borat thing or whatever, because this article in The Guardian doesn't make it sound like it's a good look for Giuliani.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
What
I'm just going to fast forward to that scene.
I know, right? What makes old, fat, white guys think that anybody is interested in them at all?
Ew, I know. Why?
Let me just give the men out there some advice. You're disgusting and nobody likes you. Your significant other, if you have one, barely tolerates you. Okay? That's how it goes.
Ugh.
You're just kind of there. There's never going to be a younger girl to be like, oh, I think she like, no. Stop it.
And if they are, it's because you're rich.
It's for whatever other reason. Finally, J Sabs, Charlie Brown is not going to be on TV for the first time in 54 years.
That long? Well,
Yep.
I mean, it just goes to show you what 2020 really is. Okay?
It's a huge shakeup.
People are in an uproar about this. I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm surprised how upset people are.
What do you mean it's not going to air? I even saw my mother comment. I was like, oh, God, fellas, here we go. Calm down.
It's going to be on Apple TV, which you typically need a subscription for. But they say for the Halloween episode and for the Thanksgiving special that for the day before, day of, and day after, you can go on to Apple TV and watch it for free.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
But not for the people who don't have access to Apple TV.
Right, which I'm sure there are quite a bit of people who don't have access to that or have it set up on their usual like living room television setup. I mean, I feel like a lot of people do. I do. I'll probably do it, you know. It's a great move from Apple. It's essentially the same reason why Spotify throws a ton of money at Joe Rogan. You just want people on your platform using it.
True.
That's it. That's all it is. So the Charlie Brown Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas specials will all be on Apple TV this year and not on ABC or CBS. I forget which one they usually are.
CBS, I think.
CBS, yeah. So, yeah. So they're, I don't know. This is the wave of the future, though. This is where we're going. If it wasn't this year, it was going to be some other year.
Yeah.
You know?
Next thing they're going to say that Rudolph is not going to be on, and that's really going to upset me.
Rudolph and Frosty are going to be the next ones to go.
Yes, those are my favorite ones.
Which, let's be honest, as crummy as this is and weird as it is to break with our traditions, how many times do you wind up actually missing those things because the night they're on TV, you're busy doing something else?
Right, busy watching Netflix.
Busy watching Netflix. Busy watching Borat, and now you can watch it at your leisure and actually not miss it this year. So it kind of maybe is a better thing if you think about it.
It's true.
It is true. And then is of course that special that's coming where Charlie Brown is laying down on the bed, putting his hand down his pants while Lucy is yeah, so I'm keeping my eye on the Hunter Biden thing. I don't know what's what. I mean, I know the guy's a train wreck. I know Hunter Biden is a train wreck.
Yes. And
he had a drug problem and a lot of issues. But it seemed like nobody really wanted to go after him, even the right, for the longest time. And I don't know why. Yeah, because I don't think they've been able to really prove any of this stuff. And who knows? We'll see what happens there. But like I said, I would not like if tomorrow comes and Giuliani puts out like a text message or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, here it is. It's, you know.
I'm waiting for that. That's going to come out before the document. We'll see.
We all are. But again, I wonder how many Democrats are really going to be rocked by that.
Good question.
I don't know. All right, J Sabs, we'll leave it there. Big day tomorrow, big episodes.
Huge.
Huge episodes. Make sure you guys are subscribed again, and you hit that bell on YouTube so you get the notification for when we go live. Same deal on Facebook. Hit that like button and hover over it and see our post first, like that, so you're in on it. Follow us on Twitter. We'll have stuff there, and links and everything else at anthonyonair.com. See ya.